And every time that you have looked at the Grimstroke and you said a single target ability is missing, I will say that team has lost.
It's not. I mean, it's not complicated. Like the Soulbind is a very big deal for this hero, and if you have nothing to go with it.
So once again, another big problem coming in JStorm's draft. Guys, we're going to be jumping into this best of 3. Keep in mind, JStorm has not won a best of 3 yet. They got one best of 1, but if they cannot get this one under their belt, they will be sent home.
Man, Richard, that's a really depressing way of starting off this series. We wanted to be positive in this.
You did?
Well, I wanted to be positive in this. It's actually like, if you want to bring up some history as well, these two teams actually faced off in the last major when we were in KL, and it was in exactly the same round, almost exactly the same position in the lower part of the lower bracket, and it was 2-1 to Fnatic.
Yep.
But JStorm started off strong. They won game 1 in that series.
They also had Milan playing in place of Fear. So
they did.
So far, they did obviously take that one game to make it to this round, but they did lose all 4 game groups. Still probably tough to say whether or not this is a better team, but it's pretty much the perfect series to demonstrate whether or not they've grown, right?
It's also a great series to demonstrate if the overpowerness of PA is able to be strong enough to carry through this game. This is, like, the panel seemed to be very heavily in favor of Fnatic. Free Timbersaw game was the quote that I shall take from them, but, like, we've also seen PA yesterday. Like, it went unbelievable out of control from Nisha.
They also don't... It's a good Timber game, don't get me wrong, and Ice 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 is one of the best. But you do have certain answers. Undying's new ult does 7% of your current health per second to targets next to him. You have Puck and Veno. They do output a ton of magical damage, as does Grimstroke, and a Silence is always Timbersaw's bane. However... It's tough, right? It'll hit this critical mass. The side of Fnatic is this team that if you don't, let's say you don't kill this Timber, but you tried, you're going to lose 3 or 4 now, and all of a sudden maybe it's getting snowballed. Whereas if you manage to take him out, perhaps you continue rolling through the enemy side. It's very much a seesaw back and forth based on if you actually land that kill. You also have the Astral to defend in addition to the Lich armor. Got Chrono. It's a very difficult and formidable Fnatic side. Yeah.
It seems also very simple to execute for them. Like, this isn't rocket science for Fnatic to get it off. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to have laning matchups that we're going to have a dual lane top, Lich and Void. This could be a scenario where DJ might look to TP up there once he recognizes that it's a safe lane tri-lane, but I like this choice because Forev is a solo Venomancer, and you can't really hit a Tiny, and yeah, you're going to actually have the TP forced out from the Undying, but this is a lane dominator that you're now going to place against a Timbersaw who's already hit level 2.
Yeah, it
doesn't give a damn about
It seems
Undying.
very late. Like, even the harassment in the lane, like, is this when you actually bypass going in for any kind of Plague Wards and you just go for, like, a 4-4 build? Obviously, like, getting a couple in Plague Wards is going to be good for you.
Well, you certainly don't skill Gale first, I don't feel.
Yeah, you went Gale first against the level 1 reactive armor. Poison Sting is the kind of, like, the harassment he needs against Ice.
Yeah, it's just also, I feel like when you have a double wave coming at you, it's better to push the lane back because now you'll be at a slight level disadvantage, but it's no big deal. Venomancer's biggest issue is that he only has 47 base damage, and last hitting, especially under tower, is nigh impossible. Top lane, Grimstroke PA versus Void Lich. Probably got to favor the Lich in any scenario like this. But it's really just a trade, right? Like,
yeah.
Who's going to land a kill without a mistake from their enemy?
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my eyes on the bottom lane as well. Watching March as well as DJ just having this small little duel to battle for the lane equilibrium, blocking up any kind of pull camps that is possible. But while they're having their own duel, it just leaves Timber versus Venomancer having a 1v1, which seems to just be the perfect thing for Ice. Many times, Fnatic or any team that Ice has been in, if Ice has a good game, you have a good game. It's almost like that VP way you say. It's like if no one has a good game, VP have a good game.
I actually feel like JStorm, their one issue as a team, and this is partly because it's just not that mature of a lineup yet, is that Bryle effectively always goes mid. Thus, you don't have that same lane versatility that a team like Secret would have, where Zai would, in a certain game, perhaps take his talents middle.
Initiation up on top. Lich, however, is Lich. Stick charges as well as the Frost Shield. They're going to toss Moo in so deep underneath the tower. J-Storm, that was,
Yeah. So the concern you have bottom is that this is a harass heavy lane, whereas when you play against Timbersaw, ideally you want to threaten burst magical damage and preferably have a hero with a lot more last hit damage so that you can freely trade, much like we see teams do against enemy Darkseers. I would really prefer a Puck in this bottom lane. If you check out his base damage, it's pretty much 20 higher than Venomancer.
Yep.
And I just don't know. This is going to be a completely free ice game in the safe lane.
Yep.
And
it seems to be like free game for everyone. Looks like March is going to deny himself up. Simple way back to the fountain, and then TP out. He has to head towards this top lane, which has turned into a tri lane now for Fnatic, which Undying is good at if they're grouped up together. But it feels like Fear's influence is very negligible to try and protect the PA. Top 3 CSs on the board do belong to Fnatic, and the mid kills Abed. He doesn't have a lot of life to survive. Imprisonment can't come off in time. It had 1 second on cooldown, so Bryle just outplaying Abed in the mid. Not something you are, well, at least I was expecting to say.
It happens. Abed does go a little deep at times. He almost gets that last hit or kill first, but well played by Bryle to juke and Fairy Fire the 2 hits. This is pretty big for the Puck. He was a little behind in the laning phase, and if you hit 6th first, all of a sudden one rotation could potentially land another kill on that Abed OD.
That actually allowed him to afford his bottle too. So Bryle's going to have a lot better regeneration against the OD Puck, thanks to Illusory Orb. It's a lot easier to move up and down between the bounty runes, between the runes on the river.
Bottom lane, DJ has the mango ready. Or it could be susceptible here.
Well, they go up on top lane as well against Jabs, but that Frost Shield so hard to get through, and the follow-up stun, they will control him long enough. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, it was that initiation you're talking about. DJ, Mango popping to get the toss back into Ice Ice Ice. So heavy commitments from J-Storm up on top, but it still feels like the... I don't want to say it's a ticking time bomb, because I don't think the tick goes that long. This is a short-range clock.
Yeah, the key for J-Storm is just going to be to play away from the Timbersaw and punish the Abed OD. A lot of teams make the mistake of trying to kill Timbers. That's really what they're looking for. Ideally, you want to just plant someone there. You have a couple of heroes that can effectively pull creeps and kill creep waves to prevent the tower pressure. Grimstroke Puck, notably. Benno can, but he can get dove, much like we just saw if Tiny backstabs him.
Dream calls out over on Abed. TP supports coming in from Grimstroke, and the movement in from March. Now find the kill. Fear completes his TP, but now with the 2 supports being in mid, Moo is totally abandoned up on top lane. And he's already been pushed underneath his own tower. There's nothing to jump over to. So with a Frost Shield up, Moo goes into the trees.
And that's the disparity. As soon as Puck hits 6, OD, anyone else wraps around, you're going to go down immediately. Really well done by Bryle.
No way to run away from this. TP supports were already used to go towards the mid lane, and you know Ice 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 Chakram's off cooldown in 1 second time with stick charges. He'll get the kill onto Forev. Yep. Very simple positioning, and this isn't something that Ice 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 messes up. Yeah, this is a signature hero for him.
This is what the panel was talking about. This is the 10th pick hero for Fnatic, right? This is the win condition. He has a completely free game. And yeah, the Puck is winning middle, but you're in a scenario now where Venomancer's no longer really able to play the bottom lane. Timbersaw is level 6 and unkillable. What's Forev supposed to do? He is a level 5 Venomancer with brown boots.
Yep. And you know eventually, like, space will be created. MP hasn't hit level 6 just yet, but you've even got the basic synergy that comes from the Lich and the Faceless Void. It's old school. It's Chrono Chain Frost, but you catch 2 heroes inside that. There's no other choice but for them to die. And there's no real save from J-Storm. Like, J-Storm save is a soul rip from March.
Yeah, and I love the way Fnatic has played this thus far. Their DJ... he understands where he can find kills. You can't go middle, Puck ain't gonna die.
Yep.
Up top, maybe you can make something happen, but now that the Undying's there, you don't want to be anywhere near that hero. So just camp bottom. Forev does a nice job. He places that ward on the high ground to ensure he sniffs out that rotation, but I expect DJ will just maybe look to pull, maybe toss Timber in, who knows?
This was like the ultimate indecision March. He's like, do I walk towards Lich or towards Void? They both have observer wards on top of each other watching that top bounty rune. That's why Both were playing this kind of like do-si-do inside the jungle.
Yeah, but look again. I look bottom though. This is problematic for J-Storm. The game is even in both the middle and top lanes, but Ice is just completely free farming as he takes this bottom tower.
Yep. And they're not even just looking to accept the free farm. So J-Storm pressured the top tower. Frost Shield makes it difficult to push down the tower, but that's why they Dream Call. Go for the kill over on Jabs, and then Orb up. They see MP. Tombstone was dropped, but now MP will come up. He's going to look to try and get this and March. Okay, they'll get the denial on it, so at least there's no money from this. But the bottom tier 1 tower brought down already by Fnatic. J-Storm need to get the rebuttal.
Issue. It's a good play from J-Storm, but
can they actually do this? This tower's going to get denied. They fortify up. That's keeping the catapult alive, and MP actually doesn't even go for the denial. It's Forev who's being attacked by Ice. Ice now behind the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
The concern is that Bryle had to spend 2 minutes top to secure that move, and all of a sudden that advantage he'd acquired against Abed disappeared because there was just a level 4 Grimstroke middle trading CS.
Yeah, there's 200 net worth that separates them. Oh, another avalanche out. Forev. No support's coming to him. It's like he's been abandoned on this lane. Ice chains through, finishes him with a chakram. But Fear was looking for a kill in mid. He was looking for the OD while that was happening.
That's a tier 2 at 8 minutes, and I can almost guarantee you Ice's next maneuver is to transition to the top lane and do the exact same maneuver.
Is there any answer? Like, even if they bring all 5 heroes in, can they actually get through the Timbersaw, who is... you're seeing him very close to completing up his hood, plus having the extra bracer. And they're even giving him a triple stack to farm up. They are just amplifying Ice. Okay, no, they're gonna let Abed take it.
I like this move. It's what we saw yesterday in that eHome Secret game where the Kunkka had the 6 Ancient stack. And you're like, oh, that's great for Medusa, and he took it himself. I think this is the right play because the OD is the one suffering, and when you're playing a Timbersaw, you want to take the most aggressive farm possible. Let the safe CS go to your hero that's a lot more susceptible.
He even prepped up the second stack. That was 2 triple stacks that Timber damaged and let the OD finish off. And now he's instead of 200 gold behind the puck, he's 200 gold net worth in front of the puck.
Yep, really well done. This is how you play Timbersaw. You pressure your lane as fast as you can. He gets 2 tier towers in about 9 minutes. He's going to do the exact same thing top. And at a certain point, J-Storm, how do you stop him?
J-Storm are just going for the kills. They find Jabs. It was the Observer Ward that was down from J-Storm that gave him the information, and even the jaunt over Abed won't do much with the puck in the top river. But it bought more time. Ice now grabs the bounty runes at the 10-minute mark. It'll be split 2-2, but with it, the hood is now up. This Timbersaw feels unkillable with the magic damage of J-Storm. We were talking about this actually before in the draft. I was like, can J-Storm actually burst down the Timbersaw?
Not anymore.
They were meant to, right? Like, it was meant to, like, it comes online, but it comes online late. But it seems like J-Storm coming online with magical burst damage to the Timber is now even later because this hood's so early.
The Spirit Vessel...
Ice knows it. Ice totally knows it. He's only got 9 charges in the reactive armor, but he still believes he can just bully J-Storm out of this mid lane. Well, they're going to silence him up. He'll break free of it pretty quickly. Bottom lane, Chronosphere onto the Phantom Assassin. Support's coming in from Lich. He has Chain Frost, but DJ lends the Avalanche and the Chain Frost. They get as much damage into Mu as possible. Even with 1 charge, he will not be able to survive. Moves down into the lane, but they do bring him down.
Yeah, and look, that was a free kill on the PA, and there's 3 heroes middle just eventually seceding the tower. This is real rough for J-Storm. They're going to have to fall behind about 4,000 gold. Difficult for them to make something happen because PA Veno, like, they're just not in the game, and sure, Bryle's having a good time, but it's just a puck.
You've got to have a plan. Like, he's going in for a Veil of Discord, so they're even looking to amplify this damage of J-Storm. But at the moment, not a lot of it is going to be like heavy magical damage. Even the Venomancer is very underleveled. He went 4 points up in the Plague Wars to allow him to farm, but it's a 2-2 build on the Sting Gale.
It feels like Fnatic are members of like a World of Warcraft guild, and Ice is all about the PvP, right? He's trying to get people to play Battlegrounds with him, and his team they're just AFK and Ironforge, farming the auction house or something.
I'm sorry, man. No one else is even in the vicinity. I make my money on the WoW market.
Like, this is the dream for the rest of Fnatic's heroes. You've got one guy just kind of planting himself on the enemy side of the map, creating as much space as you could possibly need.
This is one of those times too, it's probably going to be one of the latest Battle Furies you'll ever see from a PA if she actually gets to complete it. And she's the same level as the Tiny, and right now is not even one item into the Battle Fury. Into mid, now they have a crack over at the Timbersaw, using that Veil and the amplification of the damage, but you see Ice confidence. He's not even triggering his Hood of Defiance.
Yep. He's doing a great job.
It's 75 mana he doesn't need to expend.
I'm actually surprised Abed is going to go for the Force Staff. He just finished it up. Thought he might have been able to get away with a Midas, but I think this works just because that BKB timing, as we discussed, time and time again.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, they're smoking up. Prowl Smoke's going to break. And who's even get the kill on? Dire Observer Wall gets planted, Radiant as well. And look at Ice. He TP's over. There's a PvP opportunity. Please let me be involved.
Yeah. He's just planting himself in between the enemy and the rest of his allies. This is... It's okay for J-Storm just because they have the PA. We've seen this hero win a lot of games that maybe a different hero wouldn't have. But at the same time, at a certain point, you're going to have to deal with the Timbersaw.
At a certain point, PA is going to have farm.
Ice is just running after the puck. He's going to get coiled. The Spirit Vessel is up. That could be enough.
Yeah, there's some way to help him. On bottom lane, though, PA dies again. ISSI's Timber chains away onto his side of the river. Tiny. Now he's even picked up a Blink Dagger. March is running away. He drops the Tombstone, but this just will end up being more money into the pool of Fnatic, pushing them up to a 6k gold advantage 14 minutes in.
Yeah,
as I apologize for dying.
You actually just... That's a mistake from J-Storm there. Like, yeah, you've got Spirit Vessel. You feel confident. Oh, we can maybe deal with this Timbersaw. You can't. You cannot kill Timbersaw. If you commit all 4 heroes, maybe, but I don't even... You don't have any stuns.
It's still not enough. Because by the time they get him low enough, Fnatic can bring in support. And that's something that Fnatic has shown that they're very willing to do.
Yep,
they'll TP in friends to help out. They're going to 4-man smoke up, reveal Ice, let him pressure in the mid. And if J-Storm want to fight, they've got a Chronosphere. They don't have the Chain Frost just yet to commit, but they've got a Chronosphere to commit. They're looking for a big kill. Fear's the only one that's really revealing himself, but they want the fight in mid. They find another target. It's March Undying. Probably not the one they wanted. They would have wanted another core.
Look up top, though. You're in trouble. Oh, Abed's going to miss him. Literally that 2-tree gap was the difference. They will get all 4 runes on the side of J-Storm, however, so that is a win. Deep wards placed in the meantime by Jabs, however.
I feel like Ferev's Plague Ward actually doesn't help him in the mid. Because if they attack Ice, he gets the easiest charge of reactive armor ever.
Downside of the J-Storm support duo is something we talk about a lot as well. They don't have any natural rotator. So the early to mid-game stage, it's effectively just Puck as a playmaker. Veno is not in this game. PA is not in this game. And it's very difficult to do that when you have Ice effectively preventing you from doing anything. You're the one that can safely shove waves against him, so you neutralize the only guy that could affect the map.
I also love, too, the fact that Fnatic is finding the stacks of J-Storm. This is their comeback mechanic. This is what they wanted. They smoke up. Dire have already scanned. Now, there's no one under this. So their smoke will go begging. It'll wear off in about 2 seconds. They don't find their target. They lose their triple stack of Ancients to both the Timber. Okay, DJ, he's in a little bit of trouble. Support not coming in fast enough. Faceless Void's behind him, but they're taking this long to kill off DJ.
Yep. Minus 7 gold going the way of DJ. 217 going to J-Storm Brile, so 422 gold is what J-Storm make out of that movement, which is not terrible, but in the meantime, OG free farming, Timber top.
Damage on the tier 2 tower. It's a catapult wave as well. Ice knows he can just stand around as long as he can tank for the catapult. Oh, that chrono. 2 on the edge. Jabs, let the ulti go. When 2 are combined, okay, it won't matter. Abed, he decides to commit the Eclipse. That'll be a popping puck as he comes out of the Astral Imprisonment. And it really feels like Fnatic have this game by the balls. There is very few, like, I've avoided asking you the question, how does J-Storm get back into this? Because it seems like they don't showcase a plan either inside the game.
Difficult. You're in a position where you can't kill the enemy cores. And that, you know, of all the things that frustrate me as a Dota player, the one that's the worst is when you feel powerless to kill the enemy. If you cannot stun them, if you cannot catch them, you feel powerless and you're at the mercy of their decision making. Will they take that fight that they kind of just, you know, like we saw eHome do yesterday against Secret, diving tier 2.
Come on, 5v1. Lich is a little bit too far away. He's got a Lotus Orb on the Timbersaw now. He's just racked up the base armor. Even without reactive armor, Ice is still an absolute beast. And anything you want to try and, like, you want to silence him, he's just dispel quickly too.
What? Like, J-Storm love Grimstroke. They've picked it every single game it was available. However, in this game, they have no synergy with the hero. I suppose you could double Soul Rip a target, but traditionally we see this picked up with these offlaners like Beastmaster. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Doom, quite nice.
Double Roar, double Doom. Doom was banned out in the last part of this phase, and he would have been the perfect pickup as well against both Timber as well as OD. It's that ability to jump in and silence up a hero, to almost delete them in a way before the fight begins.
It's also an excellent counter pick to a Timbersaw, just because that Infernal Blade does max HP damage, but you're in a position now. You're going to smoke again, but I expect Ice is going to do his best to ensure that he is the only one. He'll be like 3,000 units further forward than any of his teammates. Up top, OD though, that's going to be your target, but I believe he's going to get the hell out of dodge ASAP, because he recognizes I am not where I want to be right now.
They need to make space with this 4-man smoke gank. Battle Fury timing for Moo, it's not great, but it ain't absolutely terrible. Abed moves back, TP support instantly in from the Timber. Jabs gets initiated on, it's like, okay, fight. Sinister Gaze back March, the Tombstone gets dropped. Now the Soulbind silence is there on Timber and OD. It's a cheap version of a Doom though. And meanwhile, Tiny is actually hitting the tier 3 tower on bottom lane.
He never left bottom. He got 7 waves while this was going down. Moo, of course, in that smoke, not farming for that full minute. And I love how Ice is playing this. It's the 3rd time so far we've seen him immediately teleport once J-Storm revealed they're trying to make a move in that area. Yep. He knows his job. He is going to bruise and battle any moment he can and frees up the rest of his team to pretty much do whatever they please. J-Storm back against the wall. Collect these bounties if you can in 30 seconds. Continue making space. You will be in a position...
They're going to try and gank Arpet. He actually just used Imprisonment to farm up the wave on top. They have silence available from the Grimstroke, and Venomancer has connected over on the Gale. So the damage output is there. Lich is moving up, and they will find the kill on the OD. That's a little bit too far out of position for Arbet, and they have some kill potential on one of the big cores. That's a lot of money, except Fear's the one who claims it.
The Aether Lens factor on Fear. You got that silence off from super long range.
Is this the reason too why like maybe they pick him up? You look at Fear's quick. Oh, okay. Chronosphere, Puck, Chakram would be enough with the Avalanche to get the kill. In fact, Ice even kill secures it. But Fear looks very far ahead. He's got a Scythe queued up as his next primary item, and then into.
My concern, I don't know how you ever kill Ice though. Like the even when hexed. He's level 16. That's 3 above anyone on the side of J-Storm. He's going to go Lotus into Greaves. He'll have 2 methods of cleansing the Solar Crest and the Gale.
Here they go again. Gale him up. Veil, whatever you've got. Throw it in the Nova. MP. He's going to come in to help out with a time dilation, and they will try and get through him. Chainfrost also will arrive, and Ice goes down. That's the way to do it. It's just a 4v1. Kyle's Caster Curse does kick in, and maybe with the run through the back, OD is now arrived. J-Storm committed the whole kitchen sink, but maybe they didn't. With the Soulbind, Arbet and DJ are connected together. It kind of restricts their movement. It's the 3-legged race for Fnatic, and they're actually losing. 2 heroes, maybe a little bit more. J-Storm still looking for the fight. A phase shift, dodging all the Avalanche. He'll Dream Coil as well. Ferev wants to get back into this engagement, and this is actually Fnatic just doing what SEA does best, allowing J-Storm to get back into this fight. Arbet even burns the 10-second BKB. DJ wants to TP back out. Okay, Imprisonment, that's on nothing. Oh. They are away to safety for now.
You're welcome, viewers. We didn't want to see a boring game. I ensure, of course, that
thank you, Kyle.
Does go down.
Yeah. And Purge isn't the one we thank.
We're back into it. This is what we're talking about. A nice close game of Dota. The Spirit Vessel is the big factor there. Ice tanked nearly an entire one, and even though he does have a ton of regen, 60, that Spirit Vessel takes it all away. And I can't believe how far away his squad was at the time, but that's the Veno factor, and this is something we're going to see J-Storm look to do as this game continues. Long fights. Let the Veno poison tick. The Spirit Vessel charges. The PA daggers. All of their cooldowns are quite low, with the exception of the Coil and the Nova. Tombstone too, of course, but their sustained damage output is very high. And if they can bait out the Fnatic, the ODBKB, the
Yep.
Chrono. It's now much easier to kite around, maybe win that fight.
And it's buying space. It's buying space for what we kind of thought there was going to be no space for, which is the Phantom Assassin. It's been a non-stop farm game, trying not to be involved in the engagements. PA's building into a BKB, and is only 1,600 gold away from completing it. But Fnatic, they are very strong. Good blink away from Bryle. Dodges the attack.
You got to question, the game was very slow, but was it too slow? The way Fnatic played this, when you consider just how far ahead Ice was, you're at a point now, PA is the Battle Fury, soon to have a BKB.
Ooh.
It's going to get harder.
They're going to take the fight again. A jump in, a silence, a dream call. They're going to need extra reveal. No, he'll actually break free of the invis. Silence out, make sure there's no Chronosphere. The DJ into the back lines, and Ice TPing down. The Faceless Void is already down for the count. They want to get the kill on Bryle, but this puck has been so elusive. A quick phase shift. He did get connected on, so he doesn't have the blink dagger away, but that's why Orb is there as well. A reason why puck is continuously picked up. So elusive, great for pushing back out the lanes and creating more space.
Yep. And I really like the itemization. If you check out Forev, he's going straight for that Aghanim Scepter. The puck went Veil first into Bots Blink Dagon. You're going to have a metric ton of magic damage, and
This was never meant to happen, looking at the game.
it does feel a bit weird. I feel maybe Fnatic lulled me to sleep a bit. Unfortunately, it did not have that same effect on J-Storm, and you're at a point now where the puck is between many times. He's just going to continuously clear waves. PA is going to continue to farm and clear waves, and going up high ground into a Venomancer Grimstroke at this point.
Yeah.
Forev's had that 90 GPM talent ticking for quite some time.
This is why Fear's really happy. He got the level 10, gets 90 gold per minute, and the money starts rolling in. Supports can be more efficient. But now Fnatic do something which you kind of expect them to kind of move towards anyway. To ensure that J-Storm is getting some level of momentum, also cannot take it with the Phantom Assassin, they need the Roshan.
And bear in mind, the way Fnatic itemized, they are not accelerating optimally. Ice went pipe Lotus into Greaves. This is not a Timber that's going to be this massive source of damage output.
He wants
Void went Mask, Shadowblade, OD, 4-step BKB. They're all in on this idea. They're going to fight now. J-Storm, you got a PA with Battle Fury.
They actually also have, the best building hitter right now is Tiny. Faceless Void also went for Hunt style. It's this Mask of Madness combined with the Shadowblade. He's then going to go into BKB. So it's, again, all surrounded around the team fights. Nice Sentry Wall from Bryle, so he's able to see DJ on the hunt. But then you got OD, a well-renowned crappy building killer, and Timbersaw, probably just as bad. So even when you've got that frontline tank with the Greaves of the Timbersaw, it's difficult to survive. The BKB is now on the PA, so unable to battle against the OD, and that's the primary target.
Yep. You're gonna also need to you need a big Chronosphere on the side of MP. That seems to be how Fnatic will really be able to take a decisive fight. He got that one in mid around the 12-minute mark, but it's been quite some time since we saw him really have a massive game impact and can shove lanes on the side of Fnatic. But now you have Aegis. What's your move? How are you gonna actually create chaos, find some sort of opening when J-Storm seem content to just play this slow-paced game? They're at multiple corners of the map at the moment.
And they know later on, this may actually be one of these games where you get the +7 seconds Poison Nova and the 800 AoE, because you'll coat everyone from Fnatic, even though the wards make it very difficult to push high ground.
Oh yeah.
The J-Storm defense looks to hold, at least with the moment. I know we're talking about level 25 talents on a Venomancer, but this game has slowed a lot.
And bear in mind, this latest patch increased the Poison Nova damage. I don't think it increased the Scepter damage. That'll still be 110 when maxed out per second. But bear in mind, that's 18 seconds of 110 DPS before the talent for an extra 7. You're talking about post-talent,
you get an extra
2,500 or more magical damage.
You get an extra 5.17 damage from the 110. That's terrific.
Intelligence for the spell lamp, of course. And there is a Veil on puck, so J-Storm, obviously, they know what's up. They understand their win condition, and Fnatic, you're going to have to use this BKB timing you're at with your OD pretty soon. Otherwise, you might just find yourselves in a game that lasts forever.
Yep. And they don't want that. Puck's already pushed in the top lane so much. PA is getting more and more space, looking for a bit of a fight. And I guess PA's defensiveness is going to get even better with the triple stifling daggers.
Yep. And
then the crits, then Lich starts to worry, like if he can stay alive, which is not something I...
just look at
worried about
MP
before.
farming these Ancients. Look how slow this is. You have complete map dominance as the side of Fnatic, but their advantage has been 3k, even though J-Storm has been sitting in base. This is the downside of itemizing this defensively, this much for the mid game. No one invested. No one's
all three
scaling.
Are you saying like all three are basically playing the same role? It's like, you know, I'll be that tank during the team fight. I'll survive during the team fight.
No, it's just that there's like OD, you know, in an ideal world, in a great game, you'd love to be buying like a Midas, maybe a Kayayasha, perhaps a Blink at some point, although that's a bit weak in a game against Veno. Void, no problem, maybe a Battle Fury, maybe a Maelstrom, Timbersaw, Bloodstone, Holy Locket over Pipe. Like there's items you can purchase that allow your net worth to increase exponentially, and none of them went in that style, thus their lead really isn't growing, even though they look. J-Storm is in their base. But they're not like when we watched VP yesterday in a game where they were utterly dominating. They were going up 1,000 gold per minute. It felt because they were just eating so much of the map. You don't have that ability on the team of Fnatic just because of the way your heroes have itemized, solely because of that.
They're coming out to fight. J-Storm don't want to stick in. They need to be able to push out one of the lanes. Puck's really good at doing this, and they're going to find the one who was on the side lane pushing. It's DJ. Sentry wards planted. Even Marsh dropping Tombstone as well as the ulti. They want the kill on DJ quickly. Puck getting a lot of damage to do it, but now MP, Chrono, it only caught one. It only caught the Undying Death, another one they want, and then they even turn back just to take out the Tombstone. A huge waste of a Chronosphere. Now the BKB was at least burned on Mu, so he loses that, but this is not what Fnatic was looking for. Even Fear's getting space on bottom lane. Top lane, Hex over on Arbed, so they found a way to catch out the puck, but phase shift. Watch this timing and watch the puck, blinks away. Like Arbed even knows this isn't a kill. He walks away. But puck will jump out and just take out the next creep wave too, so they're creep skipping. They're delaying this beautifully.
Ice is going Crimson Guard next. I mean, I get being a tank, okay? But it's like, you ever see one of those bodybuilders in the gym? It's like the definition of Diesel. Absolute unit, but you know the man never stretched, so he can't put his arms above his head.
Unfortunately, my neck muscles are so big that I just cannot turn.
At what point is it, are you tanky enough?
Here you go. Arbeb, the target that they're looking for to bring down the OD is the one who, with sustain, can do a lot of damage in the team fights. While Timbersaw was having his own little battle against Fear, he couldn't claim it out. OD now burns the BKB, building up the intel, but the damage output, they have a lot of it, but when PA just jumps on the OD, well, they have none of it left anymore. Fnatic lose 2 for 2. Ice still up on the hill. They want to silence him up. Look for any kind of crits. Dream Coil is still not used yet. DJ wants to try and stop up something. He's just waiting around under the cover of his own Shadow Blade.
I'm so confused, Toby. I don't know, like, I'm not sure if I have the wrong read on this game, like, when we hit, like, around 10 minutes. If Fnatic's playing this very strange. Void is top, showing in lane with no Chronosphere, and Abed is walking up on high ground, like, to Hex.
I think we both had the same idea, and I think it's where we both got caught, is the fact that we didn't think the Timbersaw could die. And then we thought the Fnatic, once they had that, he didn't need to, but it was that fight around the tier 2 tower in the mid where Ice got picked off and J-Storm started getting items then.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I don't know if that really affects the game state. Then as soon as he respawned, they went and did Roche. It's not as if J-Storm gained some more map control. It's not like they suddenly started smoking forwards. It's just that Fnatic can't do anything anymore. Their timing seems to have disappeared, even though they're 4,000 gold ahead. I've seen so many PA games. He's got a Deso now. He's got triple dagger, and you don't really have any real initiation on the side of Fnatic outside of the Chrono. It's still a very winnable game.
Oh, yeah.
But MP's got to come through big.
This OD can still play. Like, we haven't actually seen a combination from Fnatic, and that was the other confidence I had, was the fact that MP's Chronosphere, combining with the Lich, combining with the OD, combining with the Timbersaw. The fact the panel was saying it too. All these things need to sync together. But right now, Fnatic, they're kind of worried about their side lanes. It's what Brian, I actually think, has been one of the most instrumental parts of J-Storm. This puck has been very elusive. And I'm not even saying he's just been pushing out the side lanes, even though that's what he's been doing. After they won the fight in mid, Brian was putting himself in front of the Timber Store. He was saying, look at me, focus on me. Bought time for Forever to get Aghanim Scepter. Bought time for the Battle Fury into BKB for the PA.
Yep.
All this time starts coming in from J-Storm, and where they had no options, they were resolute. They stuck
so
around
far,
and they got him.
It seems to be that the team that acts is going to get punished. We saw J-Storm smoke ineffectively, I think 3 times. The strategy of hang out in base, boys, and under our wards has been very effective. Fnatic's controlling 75% of the map at the moment, but
but they're not moving ahead in
mind.
net worth, and they're not moving ahead that much in experience. They've kind of established that lead previously, but J-Storm looks so damn strong because they're hitting these high levels. The triple stifling daggers there on the PA, who has the Desolator, building into the Basher. We have seen how strong a level 25 PA is, just a buffed up PA is. She will have enough to get through Timber.
I like the decision from Abed. He's got Blink queued up. I think you need some sort of ulterior initiation outside of the MP, Chrono, and DJ. You gotta like surge forwards, find that initial kill, and then Chrono next target.
But is the Blink going to be enough? With Mu going for the Desolator plus the -3 armor corruption, this Odie's only walking around with 19 armor. Like, he's going to lose half of that.
Yep, and you see Ice switched up his items. He's going for Shivas now instead of the Crimson. I think that's the right move because it's just too late for that item to be effective. Yeah, you'll reduce the ward damage, but at this point, it's the magic damage and the PA that counts, and blocking 50 of 1,400 damage crits is not really going to help any of your squishier anti-heroes.
Yeah. I still can't believe the Venomancer
Holy
has
crap,
more
by
net
the way.
worth than the Void.
Yeah, and Fear's got a Hex, so we talked about lack of Soulbind synergy, but
It's the GPM.
Hey, Grimstroke's got a Silence, he's got a Hex. I mean, maybe he can do it all himself.
Yeah.
Or so close to level 18 as well. That's a huge timing for the side of J-Storm.
So Roshan is going to go the way of Fnatic. J-Storm will not be out here to try and contest it. I say that MP's having damage issues inside the pit. He got bashed up and actually tried to time walk off the damage. Has a regeneration rune, the only reason why it's got more life. But this is another big weakness that we've already been flagging from Fnatic. Their damage output is really, really low. Hard to kill Ancients, hard to kill Roshan.
Man.
So they're not coming over J-Storm. They don't want anything to do with this. Bra's push out bottom lane. They can continue to delay Fnatic. And what's Fnatic going to do? Force high ground?
Yeah.
That feels like almost the worst thing they could do right now.
Yeah, and who's winning this game is somewhat dependent on who you believe will win this in the mega late game. But I would point to J-Storm pretty much not doing a damn thing aggressively for the last 15 minutes is proof that they're very confident letting this go as late as possible. They didn't even think about contesting that second Roshan, and I don't blame them.
It's like, hey, we just wait up. We still need levels on people. Forev doesn't have the +7 duration on Poison Nova. He's taking some time before he's going to get to that level 20. March doesn't have the double tombstone yet. He's still not level 15. But space gets created. Bra's on bottom lane, pushing it out. And that's why I wonder, like, Fnatic, okay, they're getting BT's level 2 on Tiny. DJ becomes the split pusher. That may be the way that Fnatic goes up.
And you've got to kill the PA on the side of Fnatic.
But
you
how?
got two things for J-Storm. They need to get a big Venom ult off. They need to keep their PA alive. Puck can't die without casting spells. If they can do all of those things, I feel like they should be able to win any sort of engagement. On the side of Fnatic, you gotta kill Moo's PA. You take him out of the equation, and all of a sudden, the physical damage of J-Storm disappears. There's a Grimstroke. He's got that double Hex available. You're fighting into March, a Soul Rip behind. Like,
Yep.
I mean, March, you know, love the guy. Check out the items. What a trooper.
Boots, Stick, and Observer and Sentry.
My man.
He is...
And look what's queued up.
nothing but Observers and Sentries on the Undying. That's all it is for Undying. He has absolutely nothing. But surprisingly, still
What?
1,000...
No!
Wait, no.
Oh,
really?
it's a bait. He's trying to kill him.
It's the Dire Observer Ward. He needs more friends. They smoked up here to try and get the gank before, but he waited for Bryle. Much he did. He was patient. And now they get the jump in.
He
Rue
has
will do
bots
the work.
too?
And Tiny is going to go down. Yeah, he has bots
What
level
the
2.
hell?
He was split pushing.
Dude, today has been real weird for me, okay? I don't want to get into the details of what's happened in my life, but this game, I'm starting to question a lot of things.
Yeah. In case anyone's worried why we're a little negative, it was a bit of a rough morning for us, but Kyle,
What?
just breathe, bro. You're okay. You're okay. Like, Think happy thoughts. Like,
What?
sprinkle the pixie
You're in a
dust.
position,
second star to the right, then
Fnatic,
straight
you're
onto...
having damage issues, man. Like, you don't have a Vlad's. But we've got bots too?
Yep. And now he's going to go in for a BKB as his next item.
I don't want to seem like, I hope I'm not being too harsh on Fnatic. I'm just kind of disappointed. Like, this team has so much talent. Abed and DJ had...
I haven't seen anyone this triggered since I watched Winter, just looking at the Dusa, Manta, Lincoln Sphere build. That's...
they're just so good, man. There's so much talent on this team. DJ could have played with 15 different Dota teams at the end of this split, and I think he made a good decision. Fnatic, on paper, such an incredible lineup. I just don't know if they're reading the game and their win conditions properly. And again, the more I say this, the more I'm utterly convinced that they'll end up winning this game. It'll probably take them all of like, they'll win it in like a minute.
This is the way it works, right? Like any team you think is behind is now going to start winning. Here's your BT's level 2 being used by the Tiny, coming onto the back of MP. As, well, there's Plague Wards around everywhere. And this is where J-Storm, even if you don't have your Observers and Sentries up, which they've had a very hard time having up, you've got Plague Wards.
Oh,
like,
also...
Forever's great vision game.
He had a gem. I forgot to comment. I was too distracted by the top left item slot. Yes, there's a gem now on the Grimstroke. Or wait, did they even in base?
It's on Puck.
Okay, that's the right decision because Puck, not only can he check high grounds, but as we've seen time and time again, very difficult to take this hero out. And you gotta be careful. MP might show top, and if he shows top, they'll know we have teleported because he showed bottom previously, and then all of a sudden J-Storm's gonna beeline for this bottom lane and Radiant jungle.
I love how J-Storm as well, like their primary target has been, it's been DJ. Like, he's the only one that's been able to gank because he's the only one that's been pushing a little bit further forward. It's that calculated pressure. But coming out underneath Observers and Sentries, they need that Puck to actually start looking around for yeah, okay, there you go. Orb sees the Observer, needs to get rid of it.
And the gem is so important. In a slow game like this, a gem is an invaluable tool, and to give it away...
They actually have one Observer Ward, which will time out in 30 seconds because they lost that one on bottom.
Puck and Bat are the two heroes I'd say are the most suitable to carrying gems. Like, especially once he hits level 20...
You're waiting for the 420?
No. He went the Waning Rift cooldown and says the Illusory Orb distance speed talent at level 20 on Puck. I like that decision just because it's more damage, and Silence is incredibly effective against heroes like Timber, Void, and OD. So.
Especially when Timber's trying to break free of it. Also, I will also flag the fact that he's completed up a Halberd now and put Radiance into Quick Buy. Now it's going to be Scythe into Quick Buy over on Timber. There are so many hexes arriving in this game. I suggest if you are currently watching this and you do not have a fresh supply of water, please grab yourself a beverage. We're going to be in for a long haul. Because even if you push in and you win a fight, you're probably not going to see a rack stack.
There's no building damage on either team, really.
Like, J-Storm has it through the PA. Like, that's kind of where they get theirs. But at the same time, keep in mind, J-Storm have taken 2 Tier 1 towers. The Tier 1 tower for Fnatic in mid lane is still standing because they've controlled this map so much. You have a heat map of like how much has Fnatic been dominating the map so far, and it's still gonna be like 75% the way of Fnatic. Maybe more, maybe 80.
Even if you get some kills, like the high ground defense of J-Storm is pretty insane. You're going to have Spam Venom Wards, and I love this choice from Forev as well. He went for the blink.
Okay, there's your heat map of Timbersaw. You see everywhere he's made. Mid, bottom, top, everywhere I could possibly go.
But J-Storm's in their base. Like, what's the play? It's like, it feels like it's not siege towers that Fnatic has built, but actually just another castle. And they're yelling over the ramparts, hey,
it's like,
leave your castle, guys. And then, nah.
I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go out there. It's too scary to go out there. I'm scared of the dark. I'm scared of like the Druid spammer.
This is surreal. This is one of the weirdest games of Dota I've seen on this patch because it feels like neither team is really confident to take the fight to their enemy.
Well, remember,
Fear hasn't left the river. Like, he has not crossed the river.
I am surprised, though, that he's at least been that far over. Okay, bottom lane, he's come over a couple of times.
That's still the trees. He went around the river. It's not the same.
Oh, ink dilutes, man. Actually, no, it doesn't. It just floats on the river. He could actually take over the river.
Does it?
Yeah, like ink wouldn't go into water, man. It'd be like putting oil and water together. It's gonna separate.
As I was gonna say, I just didn't know if they had different densities. That's weird.
We
should. I mean, we probably have time for an experiment.
Yeah. Can someone get us a glass of water and a pot of ink? Because everybody has that because this is the 1800s.
This is like, look, Tim. Ice is completely alone middle, but J-Storm has no.
The only so every time I've seen J-Storm smoke, they've smoked out looking for the lane where Fnatic are not, which is why they keep catching the tiny.
Oh, look at that, the level 20 Venomancer. He's got that.
He's got the +7.
7-second Poison Nova duration.
Combining with the act, and he knows, I actually even love this. Like, how many times do you say, like, a Venomancer jumps in, gets the ulti off, the Plague Ward's reveal, Ice, goes over towards Forev, and already triggering off the Aeon Disc. That's meant to be his saving mechanism. When he blinks in, they've even put Tombstone down in the middle of the lane. Hex onto March, Undying, but the Soulbind and Forev, he gets the big Nova off the two big cores. Chain Frost, damage is minimal. Forev and Fear, they're instantly going to die, but remember, moves in this fight. Look for the big damage from the Phantom Assassin, because he may be the last sole survivor of J-Storm as he tries to battle again underneath another Tombstone, wants to back off. Ice, still alive and kicking, and he's still got the Halberd. He'll disarm the PA. That's why they move forward. Kronos fearing up on Moo. Buyback in from the Grimstroke. He needs to save his core, but this comes so late that now it's Bryle as well as Fear together. The other silences, but it's a BKB on the Void, jumping in, able to get a little bit of extra control, even throwing it back over towards Fear as he goes up the hill and away. They want to go up, and yep, that's what I was looking for. Time walk forward. This will be a dive back over on Fear. 5x in from Undying as well as Venomancer. Both TPing towards the top now. Bryle, he doesn't really want to fight this. He doesn't have the Dream Coil control. The Fnatic have the first opportunity in a very long time to do some damage inside the J-Storm base while the PA's down and refusing to buy back for the moment. But Forev, let the duration go. It's a Poison Nova that lasts forever with the Aghanim Scepter buff up. But damn, March, he just walks up. It's like he wants, this is the way I get my Tombstone down. Dagon to the front lines, MP munches on the cheese, gets more life back. DJ wants to find his target. He's lost his teammate in MP thanks to the crit and the follow-up control. They just keep the Tiny in there. It's 103 seconds to face this boys down. DJ, he lives for so long that the Chain Frost flies up towards Moo. They'll bounce back down into the creep wave and into the fight. Fear, he's actually just, well, okay, Jabs is, he's battling up against two and will die. Dude. That's it. And Timbersaw TP's out inside the dire base. What the is this game?
The question I have, like, J-Storm, they buy back on everyone except for the person I felt like should in Moo. Moo is the guy that's the threat. If you don't buy back, then your team can't really do a damn thing. He buys back anyway, but it's after the tier 3 died. Fnatic was never actually going to get that Rax, and the objective they targeted had already faded by the time you're back in battle. Now you've got no buybacks on a hell of a lot of heroes.
Moo needs to save his money so he can get Satanic. One of those great interactions we saw yesterday. Satanic actually triggers off the stifling daggers.
Yep.
Oh, and someone just left a bottle casually in the bottom room. Hey, anyone who wants some free money? Oh wait, did they actually? They purposely did it. It's Bryle's.
Yep.
So PA can hold on to the double damage rune.
Man, this is just a wild back and forth game. Fnatic now with an AK net worth lead, but
they're silencing up on mid with a Dream Call. Timbersaw, primary target. He already disables over on one. Stunned up and March. They're going to try and steal as much life. Double damage from Moo. Now it goes to work. They need to keep him controlled. First Tombstone is down, but Abed in with the hammer, but the Nova return. The damage will be high on the Fnatic, but J-Storm, they've lost him. Remember, they bought back heavily too. They cannot force in this fight any harder. Moo doesn't want it. He's trying to find a way out. Throw a Stifling Dagger or not, but now he's hexed inside the Shark Room. Cannot move away. He must turn around. Back into the creep wave. The Lotus Orb, the Abyssal Blade. He stuns himself. Briley sets a silence so Timbersaw cannot keep moving in, and then Moo turns around for the fight and kills off Ice. Down for 100 seconds, but it's not done yet. MP, he's got the Chronosphere available. He wants a target. They thought he was there. DJ goes for the blind avalanche. Does not hit what he wants. Over towards the Shrine, which is on cooldown, but Bryle, he needs to be able to live. He's got the Gem of True Sight, and it will blink away, sees the Void coming, but then walks back over and then jaunts out. He almost baited MP's Chronosphere.
Well played from Bryle, just to have the awareness that his PA cannot die and ensures that he's on the high ground to give him that jump away. Otherwise, Mumo certainly goes down. And while that's probably not the GG by any means, because it would have just been Void Tiny left alive, like, he's dead for a while, and there is no buyback on this PA. The Satanic is a huge item. You can see, Like, just with the mask, he was able to sustain through that fight. With this item, he'll have like 7 get-out-of-jail-free cards just by spamming Q. And those hexes, you can't cleanse them, but now they're going to last a third less time.
You have 420 on Puck. He is skyrocketing. Goes for the full Dagon upgrade now. Keep your eyes on those buybacks. Who's dead for a long time? Bryle. Short range jump up, gets rid of the Observer and Sentry. This is the third Roshan. Moose going in for it now. OD will respawn while this is being done. Unless there's too many crits in from... Okay, Lich! Tossed up and brought down. Judge almost dead. March with the Decay is the one to find the kill. With the tombstone up behind the Soulbind and the dagger slow. They just can't move away. Moo jumps in for the kill, but he instantly changes attention over towards Arbed, who's shrining up, getting the regeneration and the Void Chronosphere. It will catch him, the OD, but does not catch Bryle. Faceless Void still needs more damage. The Soul Rip, they keep Moo alive, but not enough. He goes down. 2 minutes on the sideline for him. Then they go another, tossing the corpse over towards Arbed, able to finally TP out. March is in no man's land, but hey, there'll be 2 tombstones down. No, his other one timed out. So Roshan, without the Faceless Void, I don't think they have enough damage to do it. So Ice goes for kill instead. Over towards Bryle, who'll blink his way to safety. This game is just absolutely, well, chaotic. Bottom tier 2 tower will fall as well, thanks to the creep wave having momentum from J-Storm's push previously. They cannot do Roshan Fnatic. It's not possible with their lineup. Yep. They have to go back and defend.
And this is the thing we see. I watch Secret VP. Very rarely do they ever not have the ability to do Roche, to take towers. Both of these sides, suboptimal carries for buildings as is, but when they're both dead, like this is... Oh man. Yeah, I can't think of a proper reference. Like Timbersaw is in the... Like this is the battle of...
Yeah, hey OD, can you come in and actually use this spell immune target? Oh wait, you can't orb. Let's get it done.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Can we kill it? Yes, we can! Positive attitude. That's what needs to be taught into this one. If they can get the refresher shard into Arbed too, that means double Eclipse, double BKBs. This starts to look a lot better for Fnatic, and they seem to have the ability to get up. But I'm also looking at J-Storm, thinking about coming outside their base, and they won't think about it anymore. It's going to be Faceless Void to walk in. He has the Aegis the Immortal. Refresher shard is on the OD. He'll drop his treads for this. And J-Storm, this will be one hell of a defense if they can hold.
I'd really like to see Forev pick up a halberd over that pipe. I want to see him disarm OD whenever possible. That's the hero that's going to win this game for Fnatic. Abed's damage output, especially when you throw in that refresher shard,
keep chasing.
Absurd.
The Hex is out. BT's level 2 coming into work onto the Timbersaw. He will get a 3-man Nova off. The rest of J-Storm do not want this fight. Veno's down for a minute and a half. They are coded, but there's a lot of regeneration inside of the Fnatic lineup, so they will be okay with this. It's also a double damage Faceless Void, itching for a fight. Do not group up J-Storm. They have Chain Frost available, that's why MP and Jam just looking to work together.
And bear
find the breach.
There's a DD on MP for just a few more seconds. Whoa.
Ice is going in. He'll get silenced up. Fortification, buying some time for J-Storm. Now remember this triple stifling daggers. Moo doesn't get a crit in any of them.
It's still so difficult to go high ground though, just because of the amount of spam damage J-Storm can pump out. Bryle sitting on 7,000 gold, saving buyback. Doesn't have enough for the Hex Plus.
What was OD doing?
Chilling?
He sheaved and then forced off the other direction. So if mid-Rex goes down, this still isn't the game. The game is in the team fight. The game is in having all 5 heroes dead. But MP, as well as Ice, focus on bringing down that melee Rax. Got 900 HP on it. Veno still down at 25. A big counter. And they're just going to let this happen. No reason to try and fight. Just continuously stifling dagger. Wait for a good opportunity. Mars should be trying to steal some life, but that's why Ice. He timber chains in front of the fountain. There's just no defense.
PA versus OD. That's the name of this game. Void's damage isn't negligible either, but it's all about that OD.
March triggering the ulti. Veno is up and looking to find. He's TPing towards the front lines with the tombstone down. PA being controlled by DJ, tossed up at the back, but it's the great Chronosphere from MP. Locked in Venomancer, locked in Undying. Venom even never got his ulti off, but the Soulbind in the front of the base. Our bed is dropping quickly, but MP will finally come down to help Mob. The Hexes are chained up, Moo will fall, and this looks like it should finally be the game, unless something magical could be pulled out of their arse from J-Storm. Unlikely. March is stealing as much as he possibly can. It's Arbed as well as DJ standing strong. J-Storm, they have no more defense. Ice is going for tier 4 towers. He wants this madness to end, and end it now. Well, Arbed thought he was good. Never forget the puck. Toss him around. DJ, he's got 3 of these to do it, so Bryle gonna get some vertigo. It's a big creep wave pushing in. The tier 4 towns are being attacked. Fear will respawn up. There's another toss. Puck, he knew he had buyback available. Just committing it. Trying to slow this pressure up. Soul bind them together. Get the Hex. The double take off! He actually breaks their souls! Looking for more. Puck hexed up for the moment. He needs more time. He needs to phase shift. He can't do it. It's a dive back in from the Puck. The combo looked cool. The combo looked nice. The Eclipse will drop out. But this really is the game. Grimstroke is alive in the base. Arbed is diving in deep. He wants to make sure the fear. No! What are you doing? He's gonna go down. It's GG call anyway. The game is over. The madness is done. 53 minutes and Fnatic take game 1. I want to see if that's expressions of glee, disappointment, or just endurance.
Or confusion.
Or confusion. You can go for that. It's like, hey guys, hey, how do we win that game?
Both teams executed their game plan, and it came down to buybacks. That, you know, PA at that last engagement did not have one. Forev getting picked off bottom, so that Fnatic finally has the confidence to move up and look to start threatening the base.
Yeah. What a fun game.
I got nothing. I got great game by Fnatic. Well done to Jay.